Hello, everybody. This is Beef from the Deuce podcast. I am the Deuce, hot off of 10 days solid Demolition Derby YouTube videos, loving it, every minute of it. Beef, you were on vacation. How was vacay?
It's good. It's good, but I don't know if I could do this if I let you astray.
Yeah, I know.
You're about to do something crazy.
I didn't care about the Final Four, the Sweet 16. I'm just watching YouTube. Demolition, figure eight demolition. Oh, man.
Watching demo derbies all by your lonesome.
Those school bus demo derbies, they're the best. They're
Jesus.
Oh, God.
You're a
Anyway,
mess.
I know. Well, we all know that. That is a known. So, anything going on in the NFL? It seems like Aaron Rodgers is still playing his cards close to his vest, not saying anything.
Yeah, so it sounds like there is a deal, I guess, on the table for Rodgers to consider with Pittsburgh.
I've heard that they made an offer to him. Yeah.
Yeah, basically there's something there for him if he wants to.
Yeah.
And that he's intrigued by it, according to ESPN and basically every NFL media outlet possible.
Yeah.
And that they're not in a rush to really pressure him, which they shouldn't be. I mean, you still have Mason down there who they just re-signed to a 2-year deal, and it sounds like Tomlin's comfortable with him, which he should be.
Yeah.
There's no reason why he shouldn't be comfortable.
He knows him.
Yeah, he knows him, knows the system. The only question is, how does he fit the offense with Metcalf, with Pickens, and then whoever the running back's going to be. So
I'd heard there was speculation that he sort of wants to do it, or what does want to do it, but he doesn't want to do the early training camp stuff. He's like, I just don't want to do that. I'll come into regular training camp, but not the OTAs and all that stuff.
the OTAs and all that happy horse stuff.
He's like, I don't need that. I mean, he probably does.
Yeah, which he probably doesn't.
Yeah.
He's probably completely right on that.
Now, does his game fit with Pittsburgh's game? I mean, does it mesh, as far as you know?
I think so. It's more of a, I guess, kind of passer-friendly offense, if you will. It's not a lot of, deep balls, if you will. It's a lot of high completion percentage throws, short to intermediate, which we all know Aaron Rodgers is insanely accurate at. He's also got a beautiful deep ball, as we know.
Yeah.
So the deep threat with George Pickens or even DK Metcalf, it's there. So I think with the talent around him, if he does end up wanting to be a Steeler, I think it's positive.
What do you think?
The only downfall is just going to be the unknown of the rushing attack.
Right. Who do you think has the best, deep ball throw in the NFL right now?
Oh boy, that's tough. Aaron Rodgers now still in the league. He's probably one of the best.
Yeah.
If I had to go a close second, Mahomes maybe.
He's got a nice deep ball.
Yeah, anything he throws is looking solid. Joey B has a beautiful anything.
Yeah.
Anything he wants to throw, it's there.
Yeah.
And then outside of that, I feel like it's kind of sort of a toss-up. But I would say those three for sure. I don't think there's any argument or anybody that's going to argue that none of those three should be in that top 3 or top 5, whatever it may be for the most accurate deep ball.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think the Steelers kind of works well. And it's not like he's going to be there for long term. It's going to be probably a 1 year, maybe a 2 year, depending.
Right.
Or like a second-year option or whatever. But
it'd be up to him. Yeah.
But I think it fits, and I think Tomlin, at the very least, respects this guy.
Oh, yeah.
And I think there's mutual respect on both ends. And I think it'd be interesting. At the end of the day, who doesn't want to see Aaron Rodgers play and see if he can prove himself, for one last year? I'll tune in. I was a believer with the Jets, and that failed miserably. So
Yeah. I just tuned in to watch him throw the ball.
Yeah, he's one of the best quarterbacks to ever play the game.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't I want to see if he has something else in the tank?
Yeah, indeed. Okay. I saw an interesting interview with the Colts general manager today, talking about picking up Dan Jones,
Mm-hmm.
and he said the thing with Richardson and Jones is they had a very similar game. He said we picked up Jones because A, we like him, we know him, and he's also fits in right with our offensive scheme. So we don't have two quarterbacks that have two different playbooks when one comes in and the other one doesn't. So we don't have to change anything. We just put the one in, and it's going to be a contest. He said it's an equal contest with Jones and Richardson. It's up to them, not me. It's like whatever. But he says Richardson, maybe he's got just a slower development curve, and if he does, so be it. But they're going to put the best quarterback they have out there, and that's the way the cookie crumbles. But I thought that was interesting that they chose him because he's not a different, like when they had Watson come in, wonderful deal. He just doesn't want to play the game that Stefanski wants to play. Well, so Stefanski had to change the entire offense just for their quarterback, and we see the great results that brought forth. Oh man. Anyway, I thought that was interesting how they picked a quarterback to fit the program, not just because he's maybe the best quarterback they could find.
But I mean, it makes sense because if you believe your offense is or has the potential to be successful in whatever way, then you stick with it because you know it. You can make tweaks to it. And obviously with the personnel that they have with Pittman, with Jonathan Taylor, Josh Downs, the list goes on. They've got talent, and the offense works. Now, obviously, it doesn't work with Richardson because I don't believe Richardson's the guy.
Right.
But you saw it with Joe Flacco.
Yeah.
Like, you saw it work with a much, much older, completely different style quarterback. And those players thrived. The stat lines are better. The team is better. Even if they won or lost, the teams just look better.
Yeah.
And
even with Flacco, they were 8-9.
Yeah, and I hate to say it, but Daniel Jones is probably a better quarterback than Anthony Richardson.
Yeah.
I hate to say it, but I think that's the truth.
Yeah.
And they're not going to pay this dude $14-something million on a one-year prove-it deal if they don't believe that already.
Yeah.
And I think any casual football fan can sit there and look at it and be like, yeah, as bad as Daniel Jones was in New York, he'd learned a thing or two with being under Kevin O'Connell's staff. There's no shot that he didn't learn anything. And then going from Minnesota to Indy, there's going to be some sort of urgency and a fire lit under his ass to stay employed by the NFL.
Yeah.
And Richardson hasn't proven anything to, I guess, grant or even be worthy of a roster spot outside of being a top 10 pick. So there's going to be that quarterback competition, which we've talked about numerous times that it's good. That quarterback kind of battle will be great. And I think overall, Daniel Jones is a better fit for that offense. Because Anthony Richardson can't throw the ball worth a damn. He's insanely athletic, and that's great for a part of his game.
Yeah.
But if you want to be a true dual threat quarterback, you got to be able to throw the ball. And at least Danny Dimes can throw the ball a little bit.
Right.
Or at least has proven to be able to throw the ball, and that's where he has the upper hand. And Daniel Jones runs the ball pretty efficiently.
Yeah.
So that might be a good fit for the Colts. And I mean, who knows? You might see another Sam Darnold-esque season where it's just an insane bounce back.
Yeah. And
it's not like Coach Gannon is a terrible head coach.
Right.
He just he needs time to build this roster. And it's not like the division is not up for grabs because it still kind of is. I mean, yeah, you have the Texans, but you don't know what Jacksonville's going to do. You have no idea what Jacksonville's going to do for the most part. So, I mean, those are your only really that's your only competition in that division.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, it's I don't know. I don't think it's a terrible idea for the Daniel Jones signing, and I think it ultimately will better them, as crazy as it sounds.
Right. I do too. So obviously we talk quarterback all the time here lately, and everyone seems to do the same thing. Aside from maybe the top 5 or 6, well, we know the 4 elite, and maybe a few more. Is the rest of the NFL quarterback roster at par or subpar? Because it seems like no, we're just looking for players. Somebody, we just get somebody to be on our team. It's like there just aren't that many.
Yeah, it kind of seems like at least you could argue this, but I think the last maybe handful of years, the quarterback range has been either your, I guess, elite / very good,
Mm-hmm.
or you're just good and like mediocre. And then obviously you have your bads, but like
Mm-hmm.
there's really no, like, I guess you should say like just good. Like there's no, just like you said, there's no really average quarterback. I feel like the spectrum's just massive.
What about Bake?
I think Bake's good. I think he's very good.
Okay, but he's okay. So he's more than good.
Yes, he's definitely within, you could argue, top 10 to 12. When that team is healthy, he thrives. Now it'll be different with a whole new kind of offensive coordinator with
Right.
Liam gone.
Right.
But he's proven to be, I mean, in my opinion, way better than just average.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. But you wouldn't have thought that before he got to Tampa Bay, right?
I noticed it. I noticed kind of the switch with that signing to LA when he had his couple games stint with the Rams. You're
Okay.
like, okay, like this dude's for real.
And at times
It's
he was for real with the Browns, very real with the Browns.
Oh yeah, his first season, great, phenomenal, and then the Browns just did what the Browns do.
Yeah.
And then he goes to Carolina, and Carolina we all know is a dumpster fire. There was no chance for success.
Right.
And then you go to LA, and then boom, Tampa, and now here you are with the $100+ million quarterback who's gone to the playoffs the last 2 years.
Yeah.
So I mean it's pretty okay. So I would say Bake's a good example of used to be mediocre and now is arguably very good.
Yeah.
Depending on who you ask.
I forget his name, but they were talking to the Colts general manager, and he even brought up Bake to compare him with Daniel Jones right now. He said he has talent, but he needs to be in an environment to thrive with that talent.
Yeah, and I think a lot of it has to do with coaching. Mm-hmm. You go to Cleveland, for example, and I guess initially everything's fine, and then something happened. I guess I don't know if it's Baker's attitude or whatever the case may have been.
Well, he had those injuries.
And then he's banged up or whatever. But I feel like if you, as the head coach or coordinator, whoever it may be, if that is your dude, you kind of fight for him, I guess. And I don't know if that really happened. And then the rest is history.
Could it be that the ownership sucks?
The ownership is awful. We all know that. The Haslam's are terrible, which I get a chance to dive into here in a little bit, which is going to be great.
But if they don't like Bake, nobody likes, if they're not happy, nobody's happy, right?
Yep, and that's like you said, the front office, that is a little bit of head coaching, depending on who it is, I guess, but there's really no power in the Cleveland organization if you're not the Haslams or Andrew Berry.
You will toe the line. You will.
Yep. So that's very, very poor management on that end. Mm-hmm. But I mean, if you go through the whole Sam Darnold thing last year with Minnesota, that is the majority coaching, you're coaching to this quarterback's benefit and to his skill set.
But they had
And look
they had a lot of good parts, though. I mean, they were a pretty stacked team.
It definitely helps, definitely. But as a quarterback, you got to get him the ball.
Well, right.
You have to,
Right.
you got to hit these tight throws, these small windows, and run the offense. And I don't. It's hard to say if it's the majority of Kevin O'Connell or if it's a true 50-50 split or whatever it may be. But it does show that if you're in a system like with Brock Purdy in San Francisco, if you're in a system that works and it plays to your strengths, you look like one of the best quarterbacks in the league. At any point in time, you can be considered a top 10 quarterback.
At San Francisco?
Depending on the system. Yeah, depending on the system. Like if that system works, which it obviously has, I mean, at one point, Jimmy Garoppolo was looking like a stud. Then you have Brock Purdy, who's the last pick of the damn draft.
Yeah.
And he's looking at a $45-50 million a year contract.
Yeah.
Sam Darnold just got paid triple figures.
Yeah.
So yeah, it a lot of it does hinder on where you go and how that coaching staff operates, and if your management is an absolute crap. I mean, there's a lot of factors, obviously, but a couple of those names, like you said, Bake, Sam Darnold, those dudes were mediocre at best, and then a good system comes around, and boom, they explode.
Yeah. But I think Bake truly had it in him to do it. I mean, I think he had the talent, and he just got in a messed up system.
Yeah, and I think Sam Darnold, you could argue, kind of similar to the same thing. Like he gets drafted by the Jets, and we all know that's terrible. Goes to Carolina, and that's obviously a dumpster fire.
Yeah.
And then gets into San Francisco's system for a little bit and learns a thing or two. Gets a chance with the Vikings, and unfortunately, J.J. McCarthy gets hurt.
Right.
Then he has to prove it. He has a year to prove it to see what he has. Kevin O'Connell sticks with them, and you have a 14-win season.
So a lot of people I've been hearing, when they're talking about Darnold, they think that his turnaround may have been when he went to San Francisco, and he learned things there that he didn't know elsewhere. And that when he went, he took all that information to Minnesota as well. It really turned him around as a quarterback. Just going to San Francisco with that coaching staff and players.
Yeah, I think so, because I think a lot of it is system-based. You're learning kind of how a successful franchise operates. And then that ensues a little bit of kind of positivity and kind of like a second chance of like, okay, like maybe it isn't just me.
Yeah.
Because if you're going through what Darnold did with the Jets for, what was it, a couple seasons?
Yeah.
You can't tell me that doesn't just smack a big old thing of depression in your face, like, wow, I'm really not this good.
Right.
So you lose self-confidence.
Yeah, and you're not used to
winning. You have no idea what winning is anymore. Then you go from New York to another skid mark in the NFL at the time, Carolina.
Worse.
Same thing. There's no winning culture, so you have no idea what does a winning culture feel like. And then, like you said, you bounce around. You go to the West Coast, go to San Fran, and you're kind of used to playing in this West Coast style offense, being from USC, and it kind of gives you a second chance.
Yeah.
And you're learning from one of the better head coaches, coordinators in the NFL, and has been for a good while. You get some playing time in the system. You realize, I'm okay. This is fine. And then a similar head coach with a similar playing style or, play calling style in Kevin O'Connell.
Right.
And boom, there you go.
Yeah.
Now, it's easier said than done.
Right.
But it's a perfect example. That a lot of it is system-based and head coaching style and just ensuing some sort of belief that, like, this guy can do it. Nobody gave Sam Darnold a chance in hell.
I know. No one.
To do anything.
Yeah.
But it took one head coach. It took Kevin O'Connell saying, "No, man, we're good. Like, we've got this. And
Mhm.
here you go.
Yep.
Now he's a $100 million man
Yep. Yep.
who was on the verge of not having a job.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Absolutely crazy.
Yeah. Is it strange that both Pittsburgh quarterbacks from last year are going to be playing in MetLife Stadium this year? Is it just
That's
one of those weird
that's pretty
things?
awesome, though.
One of those weird things. It doesn't mean
I think
anything.
I think it's sweet though, and again, going to the Justin Fields signing. Like the more I look into it, the more I kind of like it.
But he's
I
not.
like it for both sides.
But you say he's not going to a good system. So what are his chances?
So I think the complete revamp of the coaching staff is going to be obviously key. But I want to say taking somebody like Aaron Glenn, who's played in that system, understands the culture, understands, I guess, the ins and outs of being a Jet. Maybe, now I'm not saying it will, maybe that changes a little bit of something. Maybe the Jets have a little bit of juice.
Mm-hmm.
The fan base, the players, whoever it may be. Maybe that changes something.
Mm-hmm.
Now, can you completely change a culture in one season? Probably not.
Well,
But
Stefanski did a pretty good job when he came in, right?
yeah, but yeah, Stefanski did well, and obviously had the team to do it. And I think if the Jets do what they're supposed to do in this upcoming draft, and I mean they still have Breece Hall, Justin Fields is a pretty good dual threat quarterback, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
Garrett Wilson's a soon-to-be premier receiver in the NFL, if not already a premier receiver.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you pair Garrett Wilson with another Buckeye, i.e. maybe an Emeka Ibuka.
Mm-hmm.
Touch up the offensive line, keep the defense where the Jets defenses have kind of been the last couple of years, which is middle of the pack, which is fine. And maybe see where that takes them. Because I mean, the pieces are there. They've got key pieces to revolve that team around some sort of winning success. But it's not going to be a 1 or 2 year fix them up, and that's kind of where the Jets have kind of failed, is expecting greatness right away, and that's not really the case.
So where did it fail last year with Rodgers in New York? Because they were saying he played pretty good.
I think it was just the team as a whole. I think at one point maybe it's the offense is somewhat doing okay, and then the defense failed.
Okay.
Maybe one game the defense plays lights out, which I feel like at the beginning of the season they did, and then the offense was just an absolute dumpster fire. So I just don't think they put together a complete game, and I think a lot of that falls on coaching.
Yeah.
And I still think they fired Robert Saleh insanely too early, but that was,
I agree.
as we both know, it was more of the Aaron Rodgers wants to control the team, and Saleh basically told him to kick rocks.
Right.
That's kind of how I see it.
Right.
And now Robert Saleh is back in San Francisco, I believe, as a DC, and he's gonna be chilling.
And the owners went with the player, not the coach.
Mm-hmm. Which is that is more than likely, more times than not, that's a big mistake.
Hello, Cleveland.
Yes.
So I think the Browns should pick that Penn State lineman.
Abdul Carter.
Yeah, him and Garrett coming off the edge could be insane.
Yeah, and I think that will help instill some sort of confidence back from your fan base to believe in this team.
But the offense.
The offense is bad. And before I forget, I have to bring this up. I have to.
Okay, go ahead.
So now there's multiple media outlets that have said this. Jimmy Haslam did his little, I guess, like meeting or whatever, however you want to call it, some interview. Mm-hmm. And essentially states that he says the team, this is obviously a quote, the team is still recovering from a big swing and a miss on Deshaun Watson, and that the fans need to hold me and D accountable, so him and his wife.
His wife?
Or D, whoever D is.
Okay.
I don't know who D is.
Okay, well.
But I would assume that is who it is. So, yeah, basically finally admitting that the Deshaun Watson deal was an absolute dumpster fire. So
the more I think about, go ahead.
no, I was just thinking more so of maybe hitting this draft with a A or a B plus will possibly instill some sort of confidence going forward with the Browns faithful and maybe some sort of winning culture.
Yeah, you need to let Stefanski run the team.
Yes. Let Stefanski do what Stefanski knows how to do.
Yes, very well. Yeah,
He's proven it however many times.
yeah, but the offense just truly has needs. I mean, you just can't get around it. And to me, the Deshaun Watson thing, the money was ridiculous, but he's not even the top 10 now anymore. The draft, giving away the draft picks was the number one stupid thing. The money's the money, but they just hamstrung that team for 3 years? They gave all the number ones away for 3 years, and they gave a bunch of other picks away for 3. I mean, it's just.
And look what Houston turned those picks into.
Well, that's not. Thank you.
That's the biggest thing.
Thank you for going there. Yeah.
So, and you have to at that point. You have to, because if you're Haslam and you see how big of a mess up this was, and look what Houston did in 2 short seasons.
Right.
I mean, it's insane. Like, it's truly psychotic that you thought at one point this was the deal of the century, that you're just somehow stealing this guy with the scandal just hovering above him for still currently. Scandals hanging above him, and you're giving him just this massive guaranteed deal, because if you didn't give him a guaranteed deal, he wasn't going there, and you didn't want to take no for an answer.
Yeah.
So that was the biggest thing.
Yeah. So you give away tons of draft picks, and then you put your salary cap in jeopardy with all that money. And then, I mean, I'm not saying that they shouldn't have paid Myles Garrett, but that pushes the salary cap as well, as far as what they're able to pay people.
Yeah, I mean, that at some point you had to pay Garrett, and it was probably a little more rich for their blood. And at some point, the Haslams have to make a choice, and they did, and they overpaid Myles Garrett, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But it was either you keep him or you dish him off to a contender, and they're probably going to give him the same amount of money.
Yeah. Now, but they only overpaid him like maybe $5 million or so a year.
Yeah, give or take.
Yeah, but that's not 240 guaranteed. That's not the Deshaun Watson. It was overpaid, but what's $5 million among NFL owners, right? It's like,
I mean, if you're already going to pay $40 million, or you're already expecting to pay however many amount.
Yeah.
Then I mean.
Yeah. And it's an extension on the contract that is still in place, so it'll be out,
Yep.
out years. Yeah. So anyway, so what was the question? Do I not like Jimmy Haslam? Yes, I do not like Jimmy Haslam.
Yes, I would say you don't like the front office.
Well,
as you shouldn't.
They're stupid. I mean,
as you shouldn't.
But the Browns have a history of stupid ownership. With Art Modell. I mean, firing the winningest coach, maybe the greatest coach in the history of American football, with Paul Brown. Oh, I don't like him. Get rid of him. Telling the greatest running back, maybe the greatest athlete in the history of football, Jim Brown, no, you can't play because you can't come to training camp 2 weeks late because you're making a movie. That's what happened. He calls him up and says, I'm making the Dirty Harry, and we're about a week behind schedule. Going to come to camp a week later. And, no, you have to come when everybody else comes. That's it. Or you're fine. Well, there's no free agency, so he could just not play him. So he left him.
One of the best athletes in NFL history.
Yeah.
just, nah, man, we're good.
No. And then, of course, the team had the best attendance records of any NFL team. Well, let's move them to Baltimore. Okay.
The list goes on and on.
Yes, please stop me. Stop me. Where's that demolition derby video I've been looking at today?
Oh my gosh.
Maybe I'm just trying to get my head clear of all that other crap that the Browns are doing. I don't know.
Yeah. And there's a lot, and there's going to be more. But I mean, it could start some sort of revamp if this draft is positive.
Yeah. Yeah.
But knowing the Browns, they will probably not do the smartest move and not draft probably one of the best defensive players in the draft.
Probably not. So,
no,
but
I still like the trading back idea. Like truly.
Yeah. Yeah.
I still like seeing if a team will overpay.
Yeah.
For that second pick.
They will.
They will. And bank on it. And just absolutely just cash in on it.
As much as I like Myles Garrett, they could have gotten a ton of draft picks for Myles Garrett.
At least two. At least 2 first rounders.
Yeah, and some others. I mean, they could have, Anyway, I mean, I like Myles Garrett. I'm glad he's there, but I don't know. I don't know.
It's fine. We still haven't paid Micah Parsons yet. It's no big deal.
Oh, well, why should they? It's just a football game.
No. Anyways, whatever. We'll bring up something positive for you here.
Yeah. Notice I haven't mentioned that team.
Yeah, you shouldn't. There's nothing positive.
There isn't anything.
This is positive.
The thing is, there's nothing to talk about with them. I mean, it's not even.
No.
It's not even really bad things have happened. It's just nothing is happening.
Nope, which has been the very, very typical Jerry Jones.
Really?
I hate it. Whatever. Anyways.
Well, as they say, he drafts well, right?
Yeah, whatever. Kills me. Anyways, okay. So
let's talk
positive news. Positive news here.
Okay, let's talk some college basketball then.
Let's dig into that.
Final Four. Let's review the. So in the Sweet 16, there were 4 Big Ten teams. 3 of them lost, and only Michigan State went to the Elite Eight, and then they lost to Auburn.
Mm-hmm.
Was this Final Four inevitable? All number ones?
So I'm going to sound like I know what I'm talking about, which I don't.
Well, that's what we do.
But the little bit that I did know going into this tournament was this was the first time that I looked at the 1 seeds and Florida, Auburn, Houston, and Duke, and I'm going, these are really, really, really good teams. Mm-hmm. Like overall, just really, really good.
Yeah.
And the SEC was super strong in basketball this year.
Yeah.
Super, super strong.
Yeah.
Obviously, Duke has been all over the place. Cooper Flagg is the best player in the nation.
Mm-hmm.
Probably going to be the first overall pick in the NBA draft.
Mm-hmm.
Stud. Absolute stud. And his surrounding pieces around that starting 5, disgusting. And then Houston, shoot lights out, and they play insanely good defense.
Yeah.
So going into the bracket, I'm sitting here thinking this is probably the year. Every year I do it, and I put at least a 1 seed in the Final Four, I'm sitting here thinking to myself, I'm an idiot.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm just an absolute lunatic, and I just said, screw it, I'm gonna do it, and boom, your boy smacks the Final Four right on the head. Ding, ding, ding. 4 out of 4.
Well, they held Tennessee to 50 points. 50 points.
15 in the first half.
Oh, God. It's that
it's
bad?
Insane.
Oh, my God.
Oh, it's insane.
Ugh.
Absolutely insane. So, I mean, going into those Elite Eight games, or even just the Sweet 16 matchups, there wasn't really, the Cinderella team outside of Arkansas.
Yeah.
But you also have Coach Cal, who's been doing this forever.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a huge surprise.
Right.
It's not like a Florida Atlantic as a 9 seed making it to the Final Four.
Yeah.
Or UConn during the Kemba Walker days as an 8 seed winning the whole damn thing.
Right.
It's so rare that happens. So I guess going into this year, it's is there truly a team that can, make this magical run with these one seeds that are, in their regions? Like, no, I don't think so.
Yeah.
Because eventually you're gonna come toe to toe with a Florida, an Auburn, a Houston, or a Duke, and I don't see any of those teams beating these four programs. So it makes the Final Four this Saturday super, super, super interesting.
So was Michigan State just kind of lucky? You're just on a Cinderella story until it wasn't anymore kind of thing?
No, I think a Tom Izzo team in March always has a chance to do something crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And with them as a 2 seed and in that region, they were fine. I think going up into, the Sweet 16, Elite 8.
Mm-hmm.
I think with the Elite 8, they got behind. They got behind just too early, and Auburn kind of did what Auburn's done the majority of the season, and that's play good defense and control the paint.
Right.
And they did. And I think Michigan State just ran out of time. When you get down early and you don't really, your team's not built to withstand a high scoring kind of back and forth game.
Are they not really built to make the big run, the big comeback?
Not really. Like they inched closer and closer. Like throughout that game,
But they're playing
was
Auburn.
down. They're down 10. They're down 8. They're approaching the 5 to 6 range, and then Auburn makes a run.
Right.
And it's just constantly going back to where they started. Boom, boom, boom. And Auburn again. Bruce Pearl and this team, they're playing really good basketball at the right time.
Mm-hmm.
Tom Izzo and Sparty just kind of ran into the buzzsaw that is Auburn this year, which another very, very good team going into March and then now in the Final Four.
So here we go. The Beef predicts the Final Four: Florida versus Auburn. I'm taking Florida.
I got the Gators.
Okay.
Well, let me rephrase that. I need the Gators to win.
You need the Gators to win.
I need the Gators to win.
Okay. So who do you think is going to win? I still think Florida's going to win the game.
I got Florida, and then Houston and Duke. I've got Houston.
Really? Over Duke?
Yes. I've got
defense. Is it all defense with Houston?
I think Houston's playing just phenomenal defense, and they're shooting well. That 3 ball has fallen, and I think that's going to be the key: is good defense and just 3-point shooting.
Okay. So I'm taking Duke and Florida. You got Florida and Houston in the final. Then who? Okay, Florida versus Houston.
Give me the Gators. Bring me the money.
What if it's Florida and Duke?
I would still need Florida to win.
Well, we understand what you need.
I'm going Florida all the way.
Okay. Do you think that they are the best team?
Personally, I think Duke's the better team. I think they've proven that all season.
Right.
But I think Florida and just overall, from what I've watched the majority of this tournament, as I do every year. Florida and their guard play is almost second to none.
Mm-hmm.
And when their shooting gets hot, it's like it never slows down.
Yeah.
I feel like Duke, obviously with Flag, it's obviously premier player, best in the country. But I feel like their offense kind of revolves around him.
Mm-hmm.
If you kind of slow him down a little bit, that gives anybody a chance to beat them, which is why that Houston pick, if they can just kind of slow him down just a little bit, that changes everything. And I feel like Duke's just kind of had their way with the majority of teams that they've played.
So in the Elite Eight, Duke and Florida won at 85 and 84 respectively.
Mm-hmm.
Auburn was 70, Houston 69. I'm going with the people who can point the points on the board, Duke and Florida.
Yeah, and usually that is what March is all about, is high scoring.
Yeah.
But I feel like these defensive teams, especially with Houston, Tennessee was also a very, very high scoring team, and they got held to Less than 20 points in a half.
Right.
A 20-minute half. Now, obviously, Tennessee is nowhere near the caliber of Duke.
Right.
So
you think
but that says something.
Yeah. Is it either a one-off or good luck?
I think it's just defense wins championships. I know that's a big NFL saying, but especially going into the Final Four, it's I don't know. It's a gut feeling / I really want to get paid. So
you're taking Florida, Houston. You're taking Florida then to win it all.
Yes.
Okay. Is that in need?
But I would say if that's the matchup, it's probably going to be relatively low scoring if Houston's defense continues to be what Houston's defense has been.
Okay. And then what is it if it's Florida and Duke? Is it going to be another into the 80s score-wise?
Yeah, I would say combined score probably like 150, 155, give or take.
Okay. All right.
Relatively high scoring.
Okay. All right. We'll see what happens. A lot of fun. How about those Columbus Blue Jackets? Are they going to make the playoffs, or are they going to fold again?
For the city of Columbus, I hope they make it.
Oh yeah.
I hope. But it does seem like they tend to fold at the wrong time.
Yep. They sure do.
But I will be the betting man and say they squeak in. I would say they squeak in.
Okay. All right. Okay. What's this rule change you were talking about for NFL uniforms?
Oh yeah. So we'll win on this. This is a good positive note for you because I think everyone loves the uniform stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So the NFL is changing, or updating, I should say, the uniform policy to allow teams to wear their throwbacks or alternate jerseys up to 4 times a season. So about, a quarter of the season?
So it can be throwbacks or a brand new alternate jersey or an alternate uniform, like Ohio State has. They have alternate uniforms.
Mm-hmm. So like the Tampa Bay creamsicle jerseys, which are my favorite. The Tennessee Titans when they rock the Houston Oilers, they like the baby blues.
You like the early Tampa Bay uniforms?
Oh, I love the creamsicles. Oh, those are beautiful.
The team deserved.
So beautiful.
They did not deserve to win with those uniforms.
So beautiful. Or the Philadelphia Kelly Greens.
They've been that for. It's like the Browns. They've been that forever.
Mm-hmm. But I love them. Love them. As much as I hate Philadelphia, I love those greens.
But how can they have a throwback if it's just still the same thing? I mean, the helmet's different shade of green, I guess, or it's more metallic, but it's.
Or you have the Patriots Reds, the red uniforms, another classic.
Well, they did have that time when the Eagles went to white and with the green eagle. I did not like that.
Yeah, that's a little strange.
So did you like the
Or
early... Go ahead.
I was gonna say the Dallas two-tones, the white and the navy blues, like the Troy Aikman Irving days, like those bad boys.
They were hot.
Love them.
Yeah.
Love them.
Now, what about the you may have mentioned that when the Patriots were Boston, when they had those, I like those back uniforms back then better than the ones they had.
Oh yeah, you give me the majority of the throwback uniforms for the NFL. I would tell you I love them. Mm-hmm. I love almost all of them. Outside of the Pittsburgh Steelers Bumblebees, those are absolutely atrocious.
That's a long time ago. That is really a long time ago.
And the Washington Redskin like solid maroons, absolutely despise those.
Really?
Not a huge fan.
Well,
but you give me about anything else, I'm a big fan.
What about the early Bengals? that exciting Browns-colored uniform with the word Bengals on the helmet. It's like, did they just buy these from Cleveland and throw the word Bengals on their helmet? Okay, I got you.
Yep, bought it from the Goodwill and just said, here you go.
Man, oh man.
Yeah,
Although,
but I mean, I think I like the idea though, because I think a lot of fans enjoy the throwbacks, or they look forward to obviously the jerseys, but then whoever's hosting said throwback game or whatever, like the field's different. You obviously bring back the old school emblem or the old school picture, whatever it is, and they kind of make it a big thing. So I think that's kind of cool for, from the fans' perspective. Like, oh, I'm going to find, like, if I have a throwback jersey, like, I'm going to rock this with them. Like, it's kind of a cool thing.
Another team that I don't think really changed much is the 49ers. They've had that style for as long as I can remember, back in the 60s.
Yeah, and I think especially like with them or outside of Pittsburgh's with their stupid bumblebee jerseys, like those classics are they're just good. Like the uniform concept alone, like as much as I hate the 49ers, their uniform concept is great.
Yeah.
And then they brought in like the all whites, like the I can't remember what the all color scheme was, like the solid color. Or they brought back like the all whites. Like those are cool. Or like when the Rams did the all yellow, like that's cool.
Yeah.
So certain alternates like that, and or just keeping it the way it's been forever. Like I'm good with that because it works.
Yeah.
Like I think it would be weird if the Niners changed their helmet logo. Like it would just look stupid. Or like if the Steelers changed theirs, like it wouldn't make sense.
Right. Now, what about so you like the old Houston Oilers uniforms, the baby blue?
Oh God, the Warren Moon baby blues.
Yeah.
Oh, I love them.
Yeah.
Love them.
Yeah.
I think it's beautiful.
That was pretty cool. Yeah. Let's see. Was there another? Chargers went to the dark blue helmets. I'm glad they came back to the white helmets. That's more their throwback.
Oh yeah, the San Diego's, like if they could pull those or bring back like the Phillip Rivers navy blue, like the Junior Seau's, I would love to see those again. I always enjoyed those. Let's see who else. There's so many.
The Giants.
There's just so many good ones.
The Giants are still the same, basically, right? They haven't really.
Well, they had the Michael Strahan like blue with the red and white trim sleeves with Giants on the helmet. Like I always like those.
Yeah.
Like those are solid.
Back in the Super Bowl days.
Oh yeah, when they actually were decent, a decent franchise. God, yeah. I mean, there's just so many.
Detroit.
I'd have to say the Detroit. Bring up any of those bad boys.
They're still pretty much the same, right? I mean, fundamentally.
But they had with the Calvin Johnson, like the black unis, way back. They have kind of a black uniform now, but nothing. I think like those Calvin Johnson days with him and Stafford. What was it, like the black with the blue sleeve trim?
Yeah,
something like that.
Yeah, but back in the day, it was still sort of that grayish silver, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't think Green Bay has.
They haven't changed shit.
Anything. and Minnesota is still really pretty much the same.
Yep.
Yeah, pretty good. And Arizona. They just don't deserve better uniforms.
They need to start being in the positive win ratio before they start changing anything.
Yeah, they should just move back to St. Louis and call themselves the Cardinals again. They were terrible, man. They were so bad. Okay. All right. Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's overall it'll be kind of a cool concept, and
especially the alternate.
Again, most of the fans love the alternate throwback uniforms, anyways.
Yeah, throwbacks are good, but if they can design something like that's just an alternate uniform.
Yeah, absolutely.
But they can only do that a total of 4 times, huh?
Yep, up to 4 times. So you don't have to do it 4 times, but I'm sure the majority of the franchises are gonna They're going to want to pull them out.
You're going to sell merchandise like crazy.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. That's just, it's money in the bank.
I was trying to think of what Buffalo. Had the Bills, the Bills thing, yeah. But that's
With the actual bill on it.
The guy.
Was it the Doug Flutie's?
Yeah. Yeah.
Boy, those are great. Those are great.
Okay. All right. Well, welcome back from vacation, and we'll get hitting this, and we'll obviously talk about some basketball, and hopefully we'll have some more football news coming up. Talk to you soon. Bye.